Hey, I'm hoping it's working now. I'm hoping it's working now. You guys let me know in the chat if we are rocking, if you can hear me now. Because, yeah, for whatever reason, I guess that's what happens when you keep your laptop on and don't reboot it. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on. Weird. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Okay, all right. I see the yes sirs. Okay, we're good now. Jesus. Oh man, but for whatever reason, it's just like acting crazy. Okay. All right. Let me just make sure that this is working. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. I don't need to mess with this no more. It is what it is, guys. There we go. There we go. I don't know what's wrong with my bill, but you know what? It got messed up. I don't know. Something happened and it looks crazy right now. I'm tripping. I'm going nuts. All right. Whatever. It is what it is. Okay. That's better. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Listen, that's the problem when you're doing live shows. Sometimes you think things are going to be work. You have everything set up. You come in, all you do is start, and the damn thing's not working. Show must go on. As you can see, I'm here by my lonesome. Shout out to John. Shout out to Jose. They couldn't be here with us this night. I'm happy to accept this award on their behalf. Appreciate you. Oh, nah, things came up, man. You know, last minute stuff. You know, you got to do it. So I'm here to hold it down. We'll get through it, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for the difficulties once again. Zigzag, zagat, zig, zagala. I think I've been saying it wrong, and D from D's World of Hoops is trying to get me right. I know he told me how to say it. I think that's what it is, but my bad. I'm messing it up, bro. Anyway, shout out to Kerry Cox. Appreciate you. Angel Torres in the building. Cormega is here. What's good? Let's see. Let me see. Pudge Nice is in the building. Good to see you. Dwayne Dennis is here. Appreciate you. Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Nick fans, and the whole Nick universe is in the building. What's going on? If I could drop the mic right there, I'd do it right there for Geraldine. Smoking Nick is in the building. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here and rocking with me. Like I said, once again, sorry for the technical difficulties, but you know, we were somehow able to get it right. I mean, if you guys could have seen what was going on at 8 o'clock when I'm like, what's going on? I'm pulling wires out, I'm putting the wires back in. I'm like, what's going on? Yo, it was crazy. Anyway, like I said, thank you guys for being here and rocking with me. Let's get right into it, man. Without further ado, so you know, the NBA is been really entertaining lately, guys. I know, you know, at some points throughout the year, you know, there's moments where we have these pockets of time where the NBA seems like it's really rocking. I feel like this is one of them times, man. Maybe it's just me, but there's a lot of good basketball coming from a lot of different players on teams. There's some special things starting to happen. The game winners are starting to happen. Things are like, you know, things are picking up, and I feel like we're right there. We're in that mode where now the NBA is in the full swing of things, man. I'm really digging it. And so, you know what? Let's take a look at to knock this out real quick. I want to take a look at the injury report and see what's going on. And you know, shout out to ESPN for not updating the injury report the way they need to. You know what I mean? Because it'd be nice if they did, but they don't. So, you know, it is what it is. So let's take a look at what they got going on here. And I know it's not right, but it gives us an idea at least, right, guys? So let's take a look at what they got going on here. Boom. Okay. I don't know. I already don't think that's right. Let's see and blow it up a little bit. All right. So, I mean, already right off the bat, you can see Kyrie Irving's name there. I don't know. I guess he's scheduled to play tonight. So, come on, man. ESPN got to get it together. All right. So, notable injuries right now for the Atlanta Hawks is Bogdan Bogdanovic. Apparently, he is still out. You know, he's been ruled out for Wednesday's matchup against Boston. You see how updated this stuff is, guys? I think I'm trying to give ESPN some love. I think I need to find a better site, man, because this injury report is looking a little scraggly, yo. It's not looking good at all. What the heck is going on here? Let me take a look at CBS's real quick. Yeah, CBS is looking a little better. All right, we'll do that. Works for me. Okay, let's take a look at CBS's report. All right, that looks a little better. At least I can see Kyrie wasn't listed for the Nets, because I mean this is just nuts. Come on, guys, you got to do better. ESPN. Listen, what else should I expect from them, man? Sometimes they be slacking. I'm not surprised. All right, so whoa, just had that blown up a little bigger, and there we go. Look, yeah, it keeps reverting back to the same size. Whatever, it is what it is, guys. All right, so once again, Bogdanovich is out. For Boston, Malcolm Brogdon is out dealing with a hamstring. Marcus Smart dealing with an ankle. Robert Williams III, man, is still expected to be out for a while until January 1st. That's a long time. We already know the deal with Danilo Gallinari. TJ Warren is expected to miss some time up until November 25th, at least, they say. As you can see on their injury report, Kyrie's name is no longer there because he is supposed to be active for tonight's game. So this should be interesting, guys. Let's see how that whole thing plays out. How is he going to be received? How are the fans going to be acting? I mean, honestly, I think things are a little blown out of proportion. I think everybody knows that. I think they were running with it. I think people started to run with the narrative, and he didn't do himself any favors. We know he's not anti-Semitic. We know he was trying to say something, but in his way of saying it, he wanted people to do the research so that you could be on the same level that he's on. And it didn't work out that way. People didn't have the time for that, so they just wanted to jump at it and go. They brought out the pitchforks, basically. And so now he's dealing with all the the backlash from that. Okay. Charlotte. Okay, look at that. LaMelo Ball back on the injury report. As you guys saw, maybe if you guys saw the highlights, LaMelo was cooking yesterday, okay? And for whatever reason, somehow he went over to the sideline and he was, kind of slowing up, and he stepped on a fan's foot who was sitting in courtside, and he tweaked his ankle, the same ankle that he was out with for quite some time. That's bad luck, man. That's all I can say. That's really bad luck. I mean, come on. That's tough. Mark Williams is still out. November 20th, Gordon Hayward. It's a game time decision. Dennis Smith Jr., game time decision. Cody Martin, not until December 26th. Okay. Chicago, Kobe White, game time. Patrick Williams, game time. Lonzo Ball, still out till January 2nd. Cleveland, we got Jared Allen out. He's a game time decision, should I say. Dean Wade, also a game time decision. Dylan Windler, December 14th. Ricky Rubio, December 2nd. Dallas, Jaden Hardy, game time. Maxi Kleber, November 20th. JaVale McGee, game time. Okay. Denver, Jamal Murray. Oh, no. Oh, boy. That's not good. Jamal Murray is out due to health and safety protocols, and Nikola Jokic is out due to health and safety protocols. Now, I find it very interesting that Nikola Jokic has been out already dealing with this, and Jamal Murray played in last night's game against the Knicks. That's why I said, oh, no, because you know what I mean? You know how this thing spreads. So how is he expected to be out until at least November 20th, as well as Jokic until at least November 20th? Shouldn't the timelines be different? Whatever. I don't know. I'm reading too much into things. Sorry, guys. Ish Smith, game time. Aaron Gordon is game time. Colin Gillespie out to December 2nd. Isaiah Stewart is out until November 29th. Cade Cunningham, at least till November 20th with a lower leg. Golden State, Kuminga, game time. Patrick Baldwin, game time. Andre Iguodala might as well be. I mean, he's the bench influencer. Houston, Bruno Fernando, game time. Kevin Porter's game time. Jashawn Tate out until November 28th. Then we got Indiana, Kendall Brown's game time. Daniel Tice, January 2nd. I actually forgot Daniel Tice was on Indiana. That's how long he's been hurt. Wow. Chris Duarte, that ankle injury might be a little bad. Expected to be out till December 4th. For the Clippers, we got Luke Kennard out until November 21st. Kawhi Leonard's a game time. Oh, okay, we might see some Kawhi Leonard, guys. Paul George is a game time. Brandon Boston Jr. Ooh, what's going on with that? Game time. It's an undisclosed injury, but it's game time. The Lakers, Juan Toscano Anderson, game time. Max Christie, November 20th. Anthony Davis, game time. LeBron, game time. Will we see LeBron tonight? Or not tonight? Is it? Are they playing tonight? I think they might be. I think they are on the schedule for tonight. You just see that. The games. No, they're not tonight. Sorry. But, interesting is that he's game time. So good to know. Cole Swider, November 22nd. Memphis, Desmond Bain, November 30th. That's a recent injury we saw that take place. Zaire Williams, November 30th. Danny Green, we know the Danny Green situation. Miami, wow, that's a lot going on. Hero, November 20th. Caleb Martin, game time. Dwayne Dedman, game time. Bam Adebayo, game time. Haslam, game time. Omer Yurtseven and Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo had, I don't think he's played all year. I mean, unless I missed it. I mean, I'm not following Miami that closely, but I don't think I've seen him. Wow. Chris Middleton. Are we finally getting close, guys? Expected to be out until at least November 21st. I feel like he has been out forever. Jeez. Wesley Matthews, November 21st. Once again, I didn't even know Wesley Matthews was still on the Bucks. That's how injured he's been or whatever. I don't know. Pat Connaughton, I know he's been out for a bit, at least November 21st. So these are just, I don't know. It sounds like that November 21st date is just a guesstimate date. These guys might be out for a little bit. Grayson Allen, game time. Drew Holiday, game time. And Joe Ingles, January 4th. Wow. New Orleans, Kira Lewis Jr., November 21st. Zion Williamson. We saw him kind of tweak his foot the other day. Game time. EJ Liddell. Oh, man, that's a tough one. We remember that. He's out for the season, basically. Mitchell Robinson is a game time. So maybe we'll see Mitch play tomorrow night, hopefully, against the Golden State Warriors. Oklahoma City, you've got Darius Bazley, November 21st. Trey Mann, November 21st. Chet Holmgren out for the season. They couldn't just put out for the season for all these other guys. They got to put April something or whatever. Okay, whatever. Orlando. Yeah, if there's a guy that they miss, man, Paolo Banchero, at least out until November 25th with the ankle. Gary Harris, game time. Wendell Carter, game time. Mo Wagner, game time. Markelle Fultz, December 2nd. Jonathan Isaac, this guy. Man, poor Jonathan Isaac. Poor Jonathan Isaac fans. This guy has barely played basketball in like 3 or 4 years. It's nuts. December 2nd. Cole Anthony, at least November 27th. We're almost done, guys. I know I didn't want to go through everything, but I figured there might be some fans out there of these teams that just curious about their players, so I'll do it this one time. Philadelphia, Furkan Korkmaz. Furkan Korkmaz. That's an interesting name and pronunciation. November 19th, Jaden Springer. November 25th, James Harden. December 5th with the foot. Landry Shamet for Phoenix. November 20th, Josh Okogie, game time. Chris Paul, game time. That's good. I mean, but that kind of means up in the air. So, because, they need Chris Paul. Cameron Johnson, December 11th. Jay Crowder, we know that that's forever because he's going to get traded before he plays another game with the Phoenix Suns. Yusef Nurkic, game time. Justice Winslow, game time. Gary Payton, November 19th. Keon Johnson, game time. Olivier Sarr, December 3rd. I don't even know who Olivier Sarr is. No disrespect. I just don't even know. I don't remember seeing his name. So sorry to hear that. Sacramento, Keegan Murray's game time. San Antonio, Keldon Johnson, game time. Doug McDermott, the Radio Hermit, game time. Romeo Langford, November 19th. Malachi Branham, November 19th. Zach Collins, November 23rd. Blake Wesley, January 1st. Toronto, Gary Trent Jr., game time. Otto Porter, game time. Delano Banton, game time. Justin Champagne, game time. Precious Ochua, November 23rd. Pascal Siakam, November 23rd. Utah, Rudy Gay, at least December 2nd. Washington, Jordan Goodwin, game time decision. And DeLon Wright, December 14th. And that is your full, very long NBA report on the injuries. Okay. So can't say I never did it in full because it's going to be abbreviated every time you hear it after this. So, oh, man. Anyway. Yeah, guys, that's crazy, man. A lot of stuff going on, and this, you guys, I don't know if you're noticing these health and safety protocol stuff is starting to get crazy. It's starting to catch up. Dudes are starting to get it, and it's going to make its way through the league once again. All right, so let me see. Shout out to the chat once again. Where we at? Where we at? I see you, Pudge Nice. Boulevard 73 in the building. Good to see you. The Smoking Nick. I think I got him already. D's World of Hoops. What's good, my brother? Good to see you. Greg is in the building. What's good? I think I got Kerry Cox already, but if I did, once again, shout out to you, Kerry Cox. Francisco Carrillo in the building. What's good? Travel Vibes is here. Salute, guys. Salute. Thank you guys for being here. So, as I was saying before, man, the NBA is off to a nice start. There's been some really fun things happening. And I'm really excited for the product of what I'm seeing. Sorry for the intermittent, signal strength here, because for whatever reason, everything is happening at the same time. And it just is what it is, man. But hopefully it's strong enough that you guys can rock. And it might be a little glitchy, but hopefully you guys got it. All right. So let's see. Now that we got through that, let me put the little ticker up here and we'll get a little so you guys can be up to date with some of the scores and stuff that's been going on. This is all from yesterday's games, guys. So just a quick little, ticker to show you some of the game leaders from the games last night. But what I really want to talk about is 5 guys in particular. Okay. One being Jason Tatum. Every year it's the same thing. Jason Tatum comes into the league. He's a very solid player. And this year is no different from any other year. The only thing is we got to see if he can withstand the rigors of a full 82 game season, as well as getting into the playoffs. Because we saw last year, we got into the playoffs. I don't know. I think it had something to do with the defensive schemes that were applied to him, but he also looked a little tired at certain points. So we got to see if he can hold up and really stay consistent throughout the whole season into the playoffs. But as far as the regular season, Jason Tatum is a monster, similar to the Loch Ness. You know what I mean? The dude's a beast, y'all. He's been fantastic. His stats have been, incredible. Scoring wise, he's one of the best in the league as always. Let me see what his current numbers are right now. Man, I just had it up. You hit one button and boom, it's gone. We'll get it back. I think I'm going to have to do it manually, guys. That's okay. Let's bring this up first so we can get into what we got here with these players so you guys can see what I'm seeing. There we go. All right. There's Jason Tatum. So he is currently averaging 31.1 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game, 4.1 assist. You know, typical Jason Tatum fashion. The dude has just been, on one, man. Dude is a monster, a beast, if you will. He's shooting 48% from the field, 36% from three, 87% from the free throw line. Can we just get Jason Tatum on the Knicks? Could I get a Jason Tatum on the Knicks? Oh, man. Too good, man. Too good. Just it's nice to witness some of these guys like the next level of stars in the league. And he's definitely that next level. It's good to see it. It's good to see it. But yeah, I just, I'm looking at him and how he's playing, and I'm just thinking it makes me think about like who he had to learn under, because when he first came into the league, he had guys like Kobe giving him the business, and that's why he definitely looked up to him and admired him. But you look at how he has basically transitioned as far as just getting better every season and learning. And don't get me wrong, I bet you 100% he's going to learn from everything that happened in the playoffs last year, and it's going to translate this year. I expect him to do better throughout the whole season. I expect him to continue this. um and let's see. I guess I'll stop sharing this so I can show you this, because the point of him playing so well, it translates, right? Because what happens now is you look at his Boston team and look at this, guys. Look at what's going on with Boston right now. Boston is 12-3, folks. And we talked about it last time. I talked about it last week with John. Yeah, I mean, you guys should know this if you follow and see how Boston plays. They are one of the streakiest teams in the league. Boston, Golden State, historically, Boston, Golden State, Phoenix, even the 76ers. Those teams, for whatever reason, now I don't know about this year with the 76ers, but in the past, yes, these teams can go on streaks. They go on like 3, 4, 5 throughout the year, 4 games, 6 games, 8 games, 9 games in a row. Bang, bang, bang. Just ripping them off, man. And Boston is right back at it. Once again, that team goes on streaks. They've won 8 in a row. They're 12-3. And I'm not sure, but I think that, yes, it is. That's the best record in the NBA, folks. Boston is on one right now. Boston is definitely on one. So I mean, I can't say enough about how good they are. They're just always stepping up and coming to play. And behind Tatum, and I really don't even want to say Brown to that extent. Brown's been kind of out here and there. He's been sporadic, and then the games he's played, he's had one good game and maybe one subpar game. Tatum's been doing a lot. He's been carrying the load. So shout out to him. Shout out to El Servi in the building. Nick Yak is here. Vinny Vegas is in the building. Salute, salute. I see you. Yeah, I know Brown was almost traded this offseason. But you know what? I think they came to their senses, by the way, because I heard it was a speculative rumor the other day that you know they were talking about what if you could trade Brown for Durant one for one, and a lot of Boston people or in the know people were saying now Boston wouldn't take that deal, not now. I don't know what that means, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, Boston's 12-3. Milwaukee, even though they had a couple, hiccups, a couple losses here and there because they were undefeated. Excuse me. But they're 11-3, like right behind them. Um, as I've said before, guys, and I'm going to say it again, I still think Milwaukee's the team to beat. I know it may not look like it at this current moment because Boston's doing a little better with their streak. And you might say, well, we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, Milwaukee is playing like this. They've got guys that have been in and out of the lineup once again. And then they're one of their main guys, Middleton, is still not playing with them. If they're able to get Middleton back the way they're playing now, look out. I'm telling you, you better watch out for Milwaukee. So then you go to next up with the Atlanta Hawks is 9-6, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised. Not that I didn't think this was gonna work. I just felt like DeJounte and Trey Young, were gonna have some issues. Just figuring out the ball and who gets more touches or how to figure out how the touches work. And honestly, if you guys look at what's taken place so far, it looks like the Jonta has taken the back seat role. Like he's kind of letting, this is Trey's team, it is, he's letting Trey do Trey stuff, right? And then he's kind of picking his spots. And in some games you could see sometimes his game suffers a little bit, just as far as he can do more, but because they have to divvy it up and the responsibilities are a little different, he takes that backseat role. And he comes alive when Trey had to sit out, and the Jonte played against the Knicks. I mean, he didn't sit out, but he left for a little bit. The Jonte was getting busy. So yeah, it's definitely there, and it seems to be working. So good for them. Cleveland. Wasn't expecting this. I'm kind of surprised. Now, it may have a little something to do with Donovan Mitchell missing a couple games. He's back now, but missing a couple games and stuff of that nature. I don't know. Growing pains, things happen. You get off a new team, new player, you get off to a nice high. Then, things start to catch up with you. That euphoria starts to wear off, and then you're all about just playing good basketball. Maybe they ran into a little bit of a rut. A couple players might have been, nagging injuries, hurt here and there, and we know Donovan was out for a little bit, so that didn't help. But they're 8-6 now, and they've lost 5 in a row. So I'm kind of surprised at Cleveland. When we get to the 20 game mark, we're probably going to do a pretender contender episode. I don't know if this was the 20 game mark now, I'd be like looking at Cleveland with the side eye, but I don't think that I'll have to worry about that. I think Cleveland's going to right the ship, and I think they'll be contenders, all the way through. I don't think they have the best chance of winning it all. I just think they'll be there. Toronto, in usual Toronto fashion, no matter what goes on with Toronto, no matter the injuries, Siakam being out, whatever's going on with them, always above 500. Always. I don't get it. I don't know how they do it. For those people who continue to bash Nick Nurse and say that he's not a good coach, I guess he knows something that we don't, because Nick Nurse continues to get these guys to play ball. You know what I mean? You can't question it, man. He continues to get them to play ball. Let me see here. Yeah, zigzags. I'm not going to say it. Whatever. Zigzag Zagala. I'm going to say it the wrong way. Okay. I'll just get it out. Zigala. That's something to it. The Nets shouldn't take the deal, he said. Yeah. I don't think they want that whole deal anymore. I don't think they're looking at it like, you know what? Even though Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant, there's a lot that comes along with having Kevin Durant in your squad. We'll rock out with Brown and Tatum. We'll make it work. Pudge and Ice. Did you say this before? Because I kind of feel like I remember you saying this before. And I'm in agreement. I'll do it because you know what? Let's get rid of some of this. Got special girls for us. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm in agreement because you know what? I like D Rose. He's a Knick to me, and I like him on this team. I just feel like the Knicks have to start to move on from certain people if they want to really get better. There's still people taking up spots. And if you guys notice, the last 2 games, especially the last game, Tom Thibodeau has gone back to shortening the rotation. And it kind of looks like it's been working a little bit. I can't fault them because it kind of looks like it's been working. And if that's the case, then some of these guys aren't going to get those minutes anymore. And then Rose is going to be one of those that he does get minutes. So he's taking from someone else, in my opinion. And I kind of feel like Rose has lost a little step. Not a lot, just a little step. Now, maybe over time with consistency, because he's been kind of not complaining, but talking about his minutes too. They haven't been consistent. So maybe that's hurting him as well. Maybe if he continues to get some consistent minutes, he'll be right back to where he was. He is older, so you got to get the feel. Yeah, Bucks trading Grayson. I'm not a big fan of Grayson, but he plays some tenacious defense. He's a pit bull. He's got that pit bull mentality, and he's annoying. Maybe the Knicks could use a guy like that on the team. His shooting has really regressed, though. He's so up and down now. At one point, he was a decent shooter. Now he's like the last year and a half or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, Middleton is always out. Yes, that's a fact. Let me see here. Somebody said something. There you go. Pudge Nice. Yeah, taking from IQ. Yep. Yeah. Listen, sometimes you don't mind because IQ, he kind of goes into his shell. But this IQ that we've been seeing these last two games, this IQ needs to play. This IQ needs to be out there on the floor, without a doubt. Dallas is looking at Grayson. I could see that. I could see him fitting in over there. And he's just another piece to add to their defensive puzzle. He's another guy who can't really shoot the rock unless you leave him wide open and he's streaky. I just don't know. Like, why would Dallas want another one of those guys? You already got Finney Smith. You already got Reggie Bullock. Now you're going to bring in Grayson Allen, another guy who can't consistently score? I don't know, man. I think if I was them, I'd think long and hard about that one. Pause. Yeah, I take a double take on that one. Grayson belongs in Utah. Well, actually, now Grayson would fit back with that Utah team. Now it makes sense. Trade RJ for Duncan Robinson. Oh, man. What up, D. Grant? Salute to you. Wow. Guys, here's my thing. And don't get me wrong. I'm not happy about RJ. I'm not in love with how he's played lately. I think it's ridiculous. And as I said to you guys before, you don't want to blame Thibs for everything, but I am blaming him for RJ because I feel like Thibs is allowing RJ to get away with certain things out there on the floor. He's telling him certain things. He's green lighting him for certain things. And RJ is picking up bad habits and he's continuing to do this stuff. The only person who can reel RJ in outside of RJ, but it doesn't look like he's doing it, so it has to be somebody else, is the coach. So Thibodeau needs to bring it back. RJ, listen, calm down with those shots. That shot ain't falling tonight. Let's get inside the paint. Let's look for your teammates. Another thing I've noticed, and I didn't want to get too heavy with the Knicks now, but it's at the 40-minute mark. RJ looks kind of selfish, bro. I don't know. And I'm not talking about him like at the end of games padding the stats and going for his. I'm talking about when I see RJ sometimes, guys are open. He's not passing the ball. And I haven't really seen a lot of that from RJ in the past. I'm only seeing this now. I know when RJ gets a full head of steam and he's going to the basket, he's going to the basket. I'm not talking about that. I see RJ dribbling and looking and not passing the ball. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? I don't like that. They got to get RJ, get him right now, get him fast before he continues to be this person and keeps this spiraling throughout the season. Got to break them bad habits and get the mechanics right. All that stuff got to be fixed early before it gets out of whack. And the other thing is, Boulevard 73, yes, RJ is sick. He is sick. He's playing sick. But here's the thing. This is when stuff comes back to haunt you. Can't give him a bailout. He knows he's sick. He asked him, well, if you're sick, why are you playing? He's like, because I want to be out there. You know what? When you're out there, you're hurting the team. So what's more important? You being out there, being a part of the unit, or us winning games and putting out a unit that's doing what they need to do and giving us the basketball that, we need to see as fans. It's not about the fans. You know what I mean? The point is the way he's supposed to play. We're not getting it. And even with the RJ's being sick, do you guys listen to the press conference last night after the game with Julius Randle? First off, if you watch the first quarter at the 3-minute mark, right before Julius came out the game, well, there was a point before that, but at the 3-minute mark, he was gassed. Had his hands on his hips, hands on his knees at one point, and they took him out the game. That mile high air was killing Julius. He took him a while to adjust. You saw the level of intensity he had. You saw how he cranked it up throughout the game, and we saw what he did in the fourth quarter. After the game, when he was interviewed, he said, "Yeah, I'm a little sick." That means he's sick. RJ's sick. I'm not saying they got the same thing, but if they're sick around the same time, chances are it could be the same type of bug or flu or what, not flu, but bug, whatever. It didn't affect the way Randall was playing, did it? If anything, he played one of his best games as a Knick, and definitely his best game all season. Just think about that. Just sorry, RJ, you're my favorite Knick, but I had to, gotta let it be known, man. gotta put it out there. Sorry. Yeah, RJ's been on the chuck wagon, man. Yeah, he has been definitely chucking. I don't know what's going on with that. So yeah, but just to get back into the standings real quick. So as you guys can see, let me drop this down. As you guys can see, Toronto's right there. Indiana 7-6. The Wizards are 8-7. Knicks are 8-7. Nice. Those two games really helped. Miami Heat 7-8. Who would think that the Knicks would have a better record than Miami? I know it's early, guys, but it's funny and nice to look at. Who would think the Knicks would have a better record than Philadelphia? I know it's early. It's just funny. And the Bulls and the Nets. It's nuts. And then you got Orlando, Charlotte, and Detroit. The cellar dwellers, folks. The cellar dwellers in full effect. And let me tell you, Orlando misses Paolo Banchero dearly. He is definitely the best thing smoking on that team. Yeah. And taking a quick look at the West, you guys can see Portland 10-4. What's going on with Portland? Nah, I don't know if I believe this yet. I'm thinking this is fool's gold, but I like the way they're playing. It's good to see it. I don't think they can keep this up, especially when we get into the crunch times of the season and the competition gets a little tougher. Games start to mean a little bit more. Intensity starts to pick up. We get closer to the playoff intensity that you used to in the playoffs. You start to see that in the regular season. That's when these games start to matter. I think that's when Portland might start to struggle a little bit. But right now, I mean, listen, ride the wave. If they're going to play like this, take it. Not knocking them. I'm just surprised because, you know what I mean? Phoenix 9-5, Denver 9-5, Utah 10-6. And Utah has lost 3 in a row. Pay attention, guys. It might be the other shoe dropping. Danny Ainge made that call. I don't know. New Orleans Pelicans 9-6. They won 3 in a row. Dallas is 8-6. Memphis is 9-6. They've lost 2 in a row. Sacramento Kings 7-6. They've won 4. And didn't they put up like 150 points the other day or 145, something like that? I think it was, maybe 150. I don't know. That was crazy for Sacramento to put up that many points. Mm-hmm. Hey man, listen, things are getting crazy this year. Clippers 8-7. Clippers might be a really tough team, man. They can't stay healthy to save their lives, but if they can all be healthy for a good stretch of games, like 15, 20 games, they might do some work out here and like at least kind of put themselves in a position to get a little lead. And then as they get hurt and drop off again, they can not coast, but they got a little buffer. Minnesota Timberwolves 8-7. I mean 7-8, should I say? I said it backwards. They've won 2 in a row. Oklahoma City 7-8. Golden State 6-9. I don't know what's going on with Golden State, other than the fact that Steph is trying everything he can to will this team to win, and he can't do it by himself. I mean, he dropped 50 last night. It wasn't enough. Just saying. It's crazy. He's been playing lights out. San Antonio 6-9. The Lakers are 3-10, and the Houston Rockets, who still surprise me, are 3-12. I don't know. I just feel like Houston's better than this, but it is what it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much the standings, guys. That's kind of what that's looking like. But I did bring up Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry has been incredible. He's been playing fantastic basketball. As I said, he dropped 50 yesterday. And he's been doing everything he can for this team, everything he can. But it just hasn't been enough. So, you can only do so much. I mean, he's averaging 32.8, almost 33 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, 6.4 assists. Steph Curry is 6'2", guys. 6'2". Averaging 6.8 rebounds, almost 7 rebounds a game. I'm going to look at something real quick, and I don't want to be disgusted by it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm all about proving a point, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. Let me see this, guys. Hold on. Hopefully I'm wrong. You guys won't be disgusted with me because I'm already disgusted thinking about it. I hope I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, that was close, guys. You guys don't understand. I was about to lose it. Because I get on him a lot because I don't think he's a good overall rebounder. He's a fantastic offensive rebounder. But I was about to say, if Steph Curry is averaging more rebounds than Mitchell Robinson, I was about to lose it. Thankfully, Mitch is averaging 8.6 rebounds. That was rough, guys. That got me a little stressed out. I was like, oh no, I can't believe this. I don't want to see this. But thankfully, Mitch is doing a little better this year. Good for him. Yeah. Well, El Servi, you may be right. Lillard might be him this year. You know who's not him? You know who's not him? The guy who's got him tattooed on his hand. One RJ Barrett. You don't do stuff like that when you're not him. You don't tattoo him on your hand if you're not him. This has probably got to be the first time you ever see me say this much negative stuff about RJ Barrett, my favorite player on the Knicks. But that's just him. Him? He ain't him. Not right now. He ain't. That tattoo is blasphemous. That's nerve right there. He should scrub that puppy off or cover it up. Put some Nick colored band-aids over it for now until he becomes him, because he's not him right now. This guy on our screen, he's him. This guy's him. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to seem like I'm coming down on RJ that bad, but listen, man. It's just I was watching that game and watching him jack up them shots, shooting 4 for 18, knowing he doesn't have anything yet. He's continued to jack up, and then he's not passing the ball to his teammates. Like, I can't. I got to see something better from you. That's not it. And you're not him when you play like that. So, yeah. Anyway, as you guys can see, the point leaders, Steph Curry dropped 50 last night. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, another one I wanted to talk about. This guy, I mean, I'm sure you guys have already seen the meme that's been floating around, with the two blank faces, right? It shows a picture of one guy with, he's averaging 31 points per game, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how many rebounds, maybe four assists, 5 steals. I don't know what it is, whatever. He's got those numbers right. Then they got another face that you can't see who it is, with a little higher scoring average, still 31, but just a little higher, maybe a couple more rebounds and some steals, more steals, should I say, like averaging 3 or 4 more steals, and also a little higher field goal percentage, right? And so these two guys are almost identical, but there's a difference in the two of them. It's A and B. And every time I see that, I didn't know who it was. I just kept picking B because the scoring was there. I thought the shooting was a little better. And I like the fact that he was effective on the defensive end. He had about averaging about 6 rebounds, but also averaging about 3 or 4 steals so far to start the season. I was like, okay, I'll take that guy. And then when they reveal the faces, the guy over here was Donovan Mitchell, A, and B was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the guy I thought was playing even better. So who knew? So that is one of those things, once again, that you look at, Knick fans and Knick organization. You lost out on Donovan Mitchell. The price tag was pretty high. We know what he is. We know he can be clutch. We know what he can bring to the table. Let me tell you something. The guy you better figure out how to go get is that guy who's number B, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, because you can see he's playing very similar to Donovan Mitchell. And he's also showing you some clutch gene. You guys saw the game winner last night. They were down, two. He could have took a two to tie the game. No, he did his little move to the step back three to win it. That's what I'm talking about. Next level. He's been playing very next level basketball this year. I like Shea. I've always liked Shea. And this year, I like him even more because he's even better this year. So shout out to Shea. Anthony Edwards went off last night. For me, Anthony Edwards has every tool imaginable. Now, not talking about him in the same vein as a RJ Barrett, because Anthony Edwards has everything: the athleticism, the shooting ability, the scoring ability. He's got better, no, not better height. I think the height thing is the same, but the leaping and all that stuff. And he don't play no defense either, but at least with his athleticism, he might be a more willing participant. But he's very sketchy and very streaky himself. But last night he had it going. I mean, he definitely had it going. So shout out to him. As you can see, Julius Randle made the top 5 in scoring. Last night's effort, 34, 11, and 4 steals and 4 assists. Really good game from Julius. He had the pit bull mentality last night. He was a dog. He was, falling on the ground, trying to get the loose ball. He was trying to do everything to will. And that's the type of stuff. There's a difference. How do you impact winning? Last night, Julius Randle was trying to impact winning, and he did. And we had the closer. Guys, sometimes the closer comes in different forms and shapes. Some people look at it like you want a closer to be like a Shea or Donovan Mitchell or Steph Curry or, you want those guys, right? Sometimes the closer doesn't have to be that. The closer just needs to be a guy who knows how to not make big mistakes in key situations and who knows how to knock down big shots just to keep the game going, to keep your team in the game, keep chugging along. And Jalen Brunson is a closer if I've ever seen a closer because he's consistent. He's solid. He hits his free throws. He takes good, smart shots. He might not always be on. Some games he's off. We've seen it already so far. But when he's playing regular Jalen Brunson basketball, when the shot mechanics are there and he's good, the guy's solid, man. And he the pressure don't get to him. He hits big shots down the stretch to keep the Knicks in the game. Very good player. I'm definitely happy that we have him here. OG Anunoby rounds out the top 5. He finished with 32 points. He had another good game. OG's been pretty solid, guys. Remember how we talked in the offseason about, if there was somebody we would like to have on this team, OG Anunoby fit the bill. The only problem we had, and everybody said this across the board, is can he stay healthy? And when he's healthy, he's good. Some people even said we need to trade RJ for OG. I don't know if I was buying it then. As he sips the tea. I'm just saying. Shout out to Goodfella in the building. Goodfella 1422. I don't know. This may be your first time here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Smash that like button on your way in, guys, or even if you have to leave, thank you for being here. Smash that like button on your way out. We got 66 in here. Let's get them likes up, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I see we have a generous super chat from my guy, Paris Duggar, in the building. He said RJ tries to get his numbers, which hurts his team play. That's a fact. Like, I have never seen RJ do as much of this as I've seen so far this year. He probably did some of it last year because he was heading for that 20-point per game mark and he got there. But this year, there's no reason for him to be playing like this. He doesn't need to fight to go get. He's going to get points if he plays within the scheme of the game and he knocks down his shots and makes his free throws. I don't know, and that's why I keep blaming Thibs. I know it's RJ who's not making the shots, and he's out there in the court making some of his own decisions, but Thibs is the coach. Thibs has to reel him in. Benching him, I don't know if that's enough. Like, really, I've always had an issue with how Thibs gets through the guys, man. I'll be honest. I think Thibs does a lot of things by example, and he just hopes that you're going to get it. If I bench you or if I don't play you the minutes, you realize you got to do better or you got to be better. I am one of those that I likes my, would like my coach to be able to do that stuff, but also talk to the guy, talk to RJ. Listen, you're chucking right now. Sit on the bench. Simple. That says it all, right? You're chucking and you're not hitting your shots. Sit on the bench. That's, to me, that's teaching. That tells him exactly what's going on, what he needs to work on. Don't just put a guy on the bench. Oh, yeah. Obi or this guy, go in the game. And then don't tell RJ nothing. Because he don't tell people nothing. You don't see him walk over to like other coaches, walk over to the players, get in their face. Listen, this and this and this is going on. This and this. Thibs never does that. It's not Thibs' style. And that's part of the reason why I kind of am a little iffy on Thibs as a coach. His IQ, his knowledge of basketball, incredible. His scheme is a little iffy. I think it's outdated, but he does draw up a good scheme. Just he needs the right personnel. But as far as how he communicates with the young players, I don't think you have to worry about the old players. The old players already know what to do. It's the young players that bothers me. Clippers are all injury prone. Facts. Warriors losing tomorrow too. Facts. I think so. I hear you, D. It is a strange tattoo, bro. Why the hell would he get him on his like this is one of those, and I brought this up earlier on D's World of Hoops show. I was really impressed and excited and happy that we have Jalen Brunson on his team because he's got that pit bull, and just watching him go back and forth with Kentavious Caldwell Pope. There was a foul situation as D brought up with the elbow, and then there was also like a situation where, well, I think it was the same play where Jalen kind of pushed him off, but in the midst of pushing him off, they kind of came together and they both kind of hit themselves, right? So it's not like Jalen was trying to do something or get that much of an advantage. He was just trying to get to the ball and do what he had to do. But in the midst of it, he hurt himself too. Pope got a little bit more of the brunt of it, and Pope was mad, like if should be a flagrant or something. Refs didn't see it that way; they reviewed it and everything. And because of that play, the whole night they were both chirping at each other. Jalen was laughing at him. Then Kentavious said some stuff. Kentavious, I think, might have scored, hit a three or something. Mind you, Kentavious Caldwell Pope leads the league in 3-point shooting right now, so good for him. In 3-point shooting percentage, should I say? But that happened, and then Jalen at some point scored and did different things. And the key free throws down the stretch, Jalen had some stuff to say. Pope didn't like it. They were jarring back and forth. I love that. I love it when you can back it up, but you can't do that stuff and say you're him if you don't play like him. Just saying. Vinny Vegas said him is crazy. Him is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Him downstairs. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of, bro. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let me see. Salute to Rich Boy in the building. I see you, Rich Boy. Silver Surfer is here. Thank you for being here. Sherwin's in the building. Good to see you. Um, Eric Kang is in the building. Good to see you, Eric Kang. I don't know if it's your first time here on the NBA Report, but if it is, thank you for being here. Jonathan Smith, you as well. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, you like the content, like the show, and continue to come back. For those who may be new, who may not have seen the NBA Report, this is the NBA Report on Nothing But Knicks. So, it's mostly Nick content here, but with a little bit of the NBA on it. So, and this is what we try to bring on Thursday nights at 8. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it and understand it's just a little break. Thank you, D. Appreciate you, my brother. Take care. Look forward to seeing your show tomorrow at noon. The pregame. Thank you. Nick Yak, what's good? Intuitive Coders in the building. Appreciate you, and good to see you. Yeah. Well, if you want to know, how do I know he's not doing that? Because I don't see it. And when I say what I would like my coach to do, I'm talking about what a coach does in the middle of a game, what you can actually see. I don't care about what they're doing in practice. We don't know what they're doing in practice. Nobody knows how coaches and players interact in practice. I'm only talking about what I see. And there's plenty of NBA coaches around the NBA that you see during a game that will go over to their guy, talk to him real quick. A guy might be down on himself, pat him on the back, tell him something encouraging. Thibs will give you a little of that when a guy's walking off the court. He'll slap him on the butt or whatever, give him a high five, pat him on the head. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about when the coach actually can sit with you for a little bit, take 2 seconds, go over to you, talk to you real quick, tell you something, blah, 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 blah. Coaches do that in the NBA. If you look around, you'll see different teams that coaches do that. And I feel like that's a way to get a lot more out of your players. When you don't talk, you don't have that interaction, certain guys, it's left up to them to kind of figure it out. And sometimes that's what you want. I think for this Knick team, you need a little bit more, because we haven't shown that we have, tons of high IQ guys that figure everything out. So that's why I say that. But I hear your point, Coder, because we're talking about stuff that we don't necessarily see. But I'm talking about the stuff that we see on the court. That's where I'm looking for it. But I hear you though. All right. So, you guys basically see what's going on here. You see the stats from last night. These are the team leaders, the top 5 in these categories. And you also see, good point, somebody brought up that Julius was in a lot of these categories. Yeah, he had a really good game last night. Shout out to Julius, man. Shout out to Julius. Look at that. Steph Curry had, if you guys play fantasy sports, I do. I'm a fantasy junkie. It is what it is. Steph Curry had 69.8 points because he had 50 points in the game. Julius was second with 62.2 because of his all-around basketball game that he had. So really dope. Nice to see. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jimmy UCLA. He said, I am her. Oh, man. Whew. Hey, listen. Look, as I said before, RJ is my favorite basketball player on the Knicks. I hope he gets it together and gets it right. I do not like what I'm seeing right now. And I always, one of the biggest things that I said about RJ, he's a smart guy. I like his work ethic. I think he works hard. I think he gets it. But I'm not feeling like he's getting it right now. If you guys understand what I mean. Senga Waldron's in the building. Appreciate you. Intuitive Coder said, fair enough. When I think of Thibs, I think of his arms crossed on the sidelines looking furious. Facts. 100%. Paris Duggar, once again, thank you for the generous super chat. He said, did you say Shirley is in the building? Agenda, Brenda? Oh, man. Yep. You guys go back and forth. I love it. As long as you guys keep it respectful, which you both always do. But hopefully the rest of the chat understands that as well. They have a nice little rivalry. There's a thing, but it's always it's within reason. It's a special level of respect there. But they definitely go back. Sherwin and Paris definitely go back and forth. Jonathan Smith says, I only say get rid of Thibs if we can get Mark Jackson. Whew. Listen, I don't know if Mark Jackson's ever going to coach another day in the NBA. I don't know what he did. I don't know the stuff that I've heard, and I've said this before, and I still don't know everything. The stuff I heard about how things were going in Golden State are surprising to me. I'm surprised that people were fearful of him that just worked for the organization. We're talking about like regular people that just around the team that could be trainers that could, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Staff didn't like him. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he was acting. Maybe he had an Oedipus complex while he was the man over there, and he was kind of running it like a warden, like, oh, this, and this, we're doing it this way. But I find it weird because wasn't he also the person that introduced religion over there? Remember when the Golden State Warriors started praying all the time and really getting spiritual, and Steph Curry adopted it, Clay adopted it, their families adopted it. They got real, and they've kept some of those same mantras all this time. I'm confused. I don't know what was so bad. But I wasn't there. So it is what it is, guys. Listen, RJ is sick. All I'm saying, Jonathan, I hear you though. And listen, I said it before. He's my favorite player on the Knicks, but he's just not playing well. He wasn't playing well before. Well, before he got sick, he was playing well. Earlier in the season, he was stinking it up. Then he had to get together, late bloomer RJ as always. He was on a nice little run. Ever since he's been sick, it does not look like so maybe that is the key to him. Maybe he's not one of those players that can play well when they're sick. That's fine. There's not everybody can't be that guy or him. I'm sorry. It's just he's setting himself up with that tattoo, man. I don't get it. Whatever. Intuitive Coder said, I think RJ will always be a hot and cold player, but that's why a good team picks up where players fall off. I love when RJ is cooking. I do too. I love it too. I love when RJ. See, my thing about RJ is not just him. He's the example of it right now. But this team, they all have to believe in one another. Like they gotta move the ball. You got to say, and that goes down to Julius too. Like Julius yesterday was cooking, right? And there was points where guys were trying to get Julius the ball because they know he was cooking. But then there was a couple points in the fourth quarter, especially when Jalen Brunson said, you know what? I know you're cooking, Julius. I got you the ball last time down, but I need to score because you know what? I want to make sure that we are able to continue to put up points. And I got to keep myself in the rhythm because you're going to need me too. And that's the truth. We needed Jalen to get those little layups that he had to make his free throw. So he has to stay in the game. You can't just keep deferring to the hot hand all the time. You want to feed the hot hand, but you want to do it in the course of the basketball game so you can keep other guys, because when the hot hand goes cold and all those other guys have been watching you and they haven't been shooting, then they're cold, then you're going to get blown out or you lose the game. However, you guys know what I mean. Survey said we need to wait for the Netflix special on Mark. Facts. I need to know the real, yo. I don't know when it's going to happen, but somebody's got to open up the gates. Maybe it's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30 or something, because it's crazy. Zigzag Triple Z. How do you like that? If you don't like me calling you that, let me know. But I like that. Triple Z. I like that. I love RJ, but he has not looked any different than he did last year. I was hoping to see a step up as he's done for the last couple of years. I agree with you, bro. I thought he was going to come into this year different. Last year was a regression year. People get a little confused because RJ's numbers as far as points went up. Maybe a couple of his other numbers went slightly up. So it looked like there was a progression, but it was a regression because his shots went up. He took way more shots. He played more minutes. He had a high usage. So he wasn't efficient. And his percentages, his field goals, his free throw, all that stuff went down. His 3-point shooting, all of it went down. So it's a regression. His defensive numbers, they look bad this year. They were starting to be bad last year. That's why we started to say, what's going on with RG's defense? So he really regressed. Uh, I'm hoping that he can get it together. I was expecting that he was going to be better this year. I will say, shout out to him for working on his free throws. For the most part, he's improved in his free throw shooting. He's had a couple games recently that didn't look that great with the free throws, but for the most part, he's been knocking them down. I just hope that he didn't put all his focus on the free throws and not on the rest of his game. Because there's guys, you guys all know, there's certain guys on this Nick team that have issues, but they've improved in certain areas. For example, Obi. Obi's been very sporadic with the 3-point shooting for his career as a Nick. This year, he's been shooting pretty well, shooting pretty good from the free throw line, pretty good from the field overall because he's been working on the shot. He said he's working hard on the 3-point shot. So got to respect that. We'd like him to continue to work on his defense and his rebounding as well, but in time. Oh, yeah. Thank you, because I wanted to talk about him as well. Cam has been doing really good too. This is the best I've seen Cam as a Nick consistently, because Cam hasn't had a lot of chance to show what he can do, what he can be for this team. I will say that I was just trying to not pump his ego up too much, not give him too much kudos for his defense. But these last couple games, I can say Cam is a defensive player. He's a good defensive player. I give it to him. Because sometimes you look at a team and you're like, oh, this guy's good on defense. This guy's good on defense. And all these guys stink. And so because all these guys stink, you start to think that that guy is really good on defense just because he plays adequate defense. But I will say Cam has shown he's playing good defense. His length is really affecting guys. He's hustling. He's anticipating nicely on defense. He's getting in good position. So shout out to Cam, man. Much better on the defensive end than I expected. And that's if he can just be consistent with his shot and get into some type of rhythm, he could definitely be a game changer for these Knicks all season. And he's going to deserve to get that bag from somebody. I don't know if it's going to be from the Knicks, but somebody's going to give him some money if he can keep it up and stay consistent, because his defense is definitely showing improving. And I think people around the league are starting to take notice. Like, oh, he's a little bit of a pain on defense. That's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that's not it, but it looks that way. You're right, Craig. I hope that's not it. Dean Grant said, I don't like RJ's game. His style is to get downhill and score at the cup. If that does not happen, he loses confidence. That's a fact. Dude, he went up yesterday. There was a point he went up yesterday on the left-hand side, I believe. And shoot, what's the kid's name? I don't know. He went up weak on the left-hand side. He didn't even jump. He basically just went up with a weak layup. And the dude, what is his name, man? I was just thinking about it. I was just talking. He punched his shot, and he didn't have to work that hard to punch it. And I was like, come on, that's weak. Like, if you want to be that type of player and do these things, you got to, give the effort. Go strong all the time if that's what you're trying to do. Draw the fouls or get the bucket. Finish with some consistency. But you also, if you can't finish, you want to draw that foul. And sometimes he just doesn't give that type of effort. That's what it is. Yesterday's game. I got to get the name, guys. I'm sorry. It's going to kill me if I don't. Braun. That's who it is. It was Braun. What's his first name? Christian Braun. Yeah. Christian Braun blocked his shot when he went up with that weak layup. He said, get that out of here. And he said that too. And he shook his head. Crazy. It was crazy. I don't know what to say, guys. But look, you know what? Let's just hope that the Knicks get it together. Let's hope that they understand where they have struggled in this early season. Let's hope that team meeting really did light the fire under them. I mean, Julius definitely that first game, against Utah, they played with more effort, but I would say they definitely played a lot better as a team in last night's game. And Julius looks like he said, "Listen, I called that team meeting. I got to step up." He definitely stepped up. So shout out to him. I hope they keep that same intensity. They're gonna have to for the Knicks to beat teams and play good defense, they're going to have to work hard every single night. Can't take games off. You can't take quarters off. You can't take possessions off. You got to play hard every night. And I hope it finally sunk in. I hope they finally got it. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Well, anyway, guys, that's pretty much what I got for tonight. Hopefully, you guys are having a great night. Let's look forward to tomorrow. The Knicks will be playing the Golden State Warriors. You know what? Let me see if I got we got a little game preview for tomorrow. Let's see. Just curious to see if they have any information, how these teams are matching up. Here we go. All right. Let me put this up, guys, so we can take a look at how they're matching up with their game charts real quick before tomorrow's game. All right. So blow it up so you guys get a good look real quick. As you can see, Golden State's averaging 117 points. Knicks are averaging 114. Interesting. Golden State's averaging 41 rebounds. The Knicks are averaging 46. So they definitely should have the edge on the rebounding side. And if Mitch comes back tomorrow, that's definitely going to benefit them. So they might be able to get second chance points and things of that nature. Assist. Golden State moves the ball. They're averaging 29 a game. Knicks are averaging 24, which is not a bad number for the Knicks. So I'm proud of them for that. Just Golden State is better at it. Steals. We're averaging 7.5 steals a game. They're averaging 6.9. So we're doing a little better there. Nice. Blocks. This goes to our height once again. 4.8 blocks per game. They're at 3.9. Turnovers. We're averaging 13.5. They're averaging 15.8. Interesting. So that's in our favor. Good. Field goal percentage. We're shooting 45% from the field. They're shooting 47, almost 48. 3-point percentage, we're shooting 32. They're shooting 37, 2 points above league average, or a point or so above league average. I think it's around 35, 36. Free throw percentage, we're shooting 78%, which is not horrible, not bad. And they're shooting 82% from the free throw line. And then if we take a quick look at the fast break points, we're averaging 56 fast break points. 56 points in the paint. They're averaging 43. Once again, plays to our size and how we attack the basket. Second chance points, we should be doing better because we rebound better than them. We're at 16. They're at 11.8. And then fast break points. This is kind of surprising for me. We're at 15.3 and they're at 12.5. Interesting. Once again, guys, so far early this season, it looks like the Knicks have a good chance to win this game. So, I wouldn't be surprised, guys. So it's not fool's gold. If the Knicks come out with the same intensity they did in these first two games, they have a really good shot of winning this game, without question. Who's covering Curry? I don't think it even matters, bro. Nick Yak, to be honest, I really don't think it matters because he's lighting everybody up. So I think if you're the Knicks, you better focus on stopping everybody else on the court. Let's do the smart thing for once, okay? Just like when we played Kevin Durant, the focus should have been let Kevin Durant get his, stop everybody else. We didn't do a good job at stopping him or anybody else. So if I was the Knicks, tomorrow's game plan, let Curry get his, stop everybody else. We already seen it can work because Phoenix let Curry get his. He put up 50 and they won. Phoenix won the game. That's how you play it. That's how you do it. So we'll see. Hey, Nick Yak. It's still early, but yeah, you're right, man. A lot of people did say that, and I've never said that Cam is a bust. Personally, I know you may not be talking to me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've never said Cam is a bust. My issue with Cam is Cam has a low motor. Cam's got a low motor. He's not Kevin Knox low, but it's low. And he really needs to hit that aggressive button every game and in the middle of the game. Like, in the beginning of the game, every time the Knicks get ready to start and they're going to shake hands and RJ's doing this, whatever he's doing, I don't know what that means. uh, Cam needs to hit his button, his motor button. Boom. You know what I mean? Every couple minutes, hit the motor button because that motor got to keep going. He needs to stay aggressive. When he's not aggressive, when he slacks off, it shows. He doesn't get the ball. They don't look for him on the court, and his defensive effort is not the same. And offensive effort is kind of silent. So, yeah, he's got to keep doing that. But I like it. I like it. I'm happy to see it, finally. But I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to jinx it. You know what I'm going to say, because it's not just about Cam's effort. Cam could be doing great, and then that monster will get him. But we're not going to talk about that. We stay away from that cursed monster. It could be Nick Yak. You might be right. Listen, it could be him, Thibs sticking him in the corner, because that's the same thing that was happening with Quentin Grimes last year. Quentin Grimes worked on a lot of things in the offseason, and he said he hopes to be able to do more out there on the court, but Thibs always had him in the corner. Yeah, I don't think Cam is covering Curry either. I think it'll definitely be somebody else. I don't know what's going on with Grimes. I know the rotation has gotten shorter, but, I think at some point you're going to have to get Grimes involved on this team at some point. The Fournier thing, I understand. He's trying to get some consistency. He's trying to get a level of play, right? Because sometimes what coaches do, they shorten their rotation because they want to get the level of consistency and play, and then they can sprinkle in an extra player here and there, but you don't circumvent the wheel. That's what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to get that consistency. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, once again, this has been great. I appreciate y'all for being here and rocking with me. Shout out to all of y'all. I can't wait to see what happens with the Knicks game tomorrow night. I hope the Knicks come out with that same effort and win the game. And then I would be really happy when I'm talking about them on Saturday at 11 a.m. on Know the Ledge. So you guys, thank you for being here. Shout out to the chat once again. You guys make the show. You help it go, man. Like the little engine that could, man. You guys definitely, I appreciate y'all. Salute. Thank you for being here and rocking with me as always. I believe Steph's show is on right now at 9. So if you guys want to head over there, check out Just Nicking It with Steph, the Queen from MBK, on her Dope Soul Sports Network. Yeah, and show her some love, man. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here once again. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great night, and we'll see you Saturday at 11 a.m. for Know the Ledge. Still Knicks fans, we out. Run that shit.